much do you have to worry about Paul's hands?
I mean, everybody has to worry about his hands. I mean, you go out there and, try to fool yourself and think you can't knock people out. He's done it 20 times over and over again. So, obviously, I have to put myself in positions where I'm not liable to get cracked with a left hook or hit with a hard right or, a combination of both. So, I'm just trying to put myself in dominant positions where I can be in and out, do my thing, and, make this fight an ugly fight for me.
Are you afraid he's not going to make weight?
I don't care if he makes weight. We're still fighting. I mean, he can weigh 171 or 174. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Strikeforce, I think the promotion, they want to see this fight happen. So, I'm worried about my own weight, where my head's at, how I'm feeling physically. So I can't really, I don't care to carry his load or what he's on. But, he's made it the last couple times, so it is what it is.
You look at the fight against Diaz and how quick he was able to come forward versus how he got caught at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at a couple of fights, fight different ways. Certain guys he fight a little bit more cautiously, comes forward with single punches and have a lower stance, usually wrestlers. Guys that want to bank, he usually opens up a little bit, raises the stance up a little higher. So I've watched several fights, I've kind of seen what he does well, see some of his tendencies. So what I saw in that fight, those guys had amazing first round. I can't take nothing away from either one of the guys. They put on a great show for you guys and the fans, and he was one or two punches away from actually winning that fight. So, I just look at it for what it was. I sat cage high and got to watch it firsthand.
Given his shortcomings in the past, is there any way he stops you from taking him down if you want to?
I don't think so. I mean, I think, you got 6 weeks to get prepared for this fight. In this case, he had 4, and I really don't think you can cover as much ground. You can't cover 18 years of wrestling, in one training camp. But I think, he said, in several reports that, he's not a better wrestling coach. Stylistically wise, in my ability, he's supposed to be getting up, pick you up, put you down real quick. I think I'm probably one of the best wrestlers in my weight class. So I think he's going to have a problem answering over and over again to the questions I put out with my different takedowns, my setups, me chain wrestling. I think if I just dive in on one shot and stop, anybody can stop. Anybody can stop one shot. But when I progressively keep prying and keep going and keep grinding on him, I think he's going to have a hard time getting off his back.
And with Diaz leaving, where do you see yourself in the welterweight division, and how do you think it should be decided?
I think it's obvious, man. I think after this fight, I fight for the world title. I don't think any other fight makes sense, and to be honest, I'm really not even interested in any bout outside of the world title. So my goal is right now, everything's going to answer itself. I go in here, I fight this guy, I beat him in dominant fashion, I put on a great performance, the ones that the fans deserve to see. That's going to put me in title contention. So if I focus on that, everything else will pan out. So.
Do you feel the fight should have been a title bout, considering Nick did go to the UFC and you and Daly are the top 2 contenders?
I thought so, but you can't cry for spilled milk. I still got to fight the guy whether it's 3 or 5 rounds, and he still is equally tough whether it's for a belt or not. Maybe it would have gave me a little bit more motivation to get all pumped up about it, but I'm already internally motivated about this bout. This guy's the top 10 in the world, and I'm trying to crack that top 10. So it's been one of my first steps forward.
Who else do you matchup before the title shot?
As of now, it's hard to say. Most everyone's off a loss if you think about it. They either currently off a loss or had a loss and a win, or they weren't really on that path for the title anyway. So Strikeforce has kind of been hinting around that they might bring somebody in. So at this point, it's just really tough to think outside of Paul Daly. It's not a guy you look past, not a guy you even think about the next guy, because if you don't go in there 100% in your mind, 100% in your heart that you're going to beat this guy, whoever next don't even matter, because you're not going to fight that person anyway. So.
Now, a lot of people say that you learn a lot from a loss. You haven't lost yet. How do you keep from getting overconfident?
Because I don't take it as undefeated. I take it as fight by fight. I've been through wars. Me and Nathan Coy went through hell in that fight, and he's at ATT now, so we went through hell the last couple of weeks wrestling with the guy, and I've trained with him before. So it's certain things in fights that you can learn, even if you don't lose. I wasn't happy with my performance then. In Tarek's fight, I felt like me and him had to go to plan B and C, and I was happy with the fact that we made changes within the fight. And some fights I knock guys out, some fights I submit. So I can always see weaknesses. I'm very critical of myself. So even though I haven't taken a loss yet, there's been shortcomings within my fights that I can grow off of.